Hello, Aquarius. Welcome back to Glinda Good Tarot. I am going to do a traditional Celtic cross reading for the energies of January 10 through 20 for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising signs. If you do like this, please like, subscribe, leave a comment. I will be giving this Animal Oracle deck away to a subscriber who leaves a comment. I'll just choose randomly, reach out to you and see where to send it. I have an extra, and it's a long story. So we'll just go ahead and get started. Doing your energies here right at the mid-month, 10 through 20. And it always has to be just right. All right, Aquarius. Current energy. The happy juggler. All right. What's challenging you is the Tower. Did you just find something out? Having a revelation? Let's see. The Seven of Pentacles down here. So you're at work, but in good reciprocation. Let's see. What has just passed for you? The Moon. Lovely. So you've come to some nice understanding, it would seem. High in your crown. Interesting. It's going to indicate a couple of different things. Some people call it conflict. I have other ideas about it. But that seems to be what's kind of on your mind right now. Maybe there was a, small conflict with somebody. But your overall read for January was, it was great. It was really great now that I think about it. What's coming towards you is the Emperor. All right, so having a lot of strength and a lot of boundaries, a lot of wisdom. I like the Emperor card. All right. Look at this. This is how you want to source yourself. So maybe there is a completion that is supposed to happen, and it's supposed to happen between the 10th and the 20th. All right. Wow. What's in your face right now is the Knight of Swords. Interesting. That's an environmental factor or an external influence or factor. Lately, when I've done these readings, for this time period, this placement seems to be like what is in your face, where things are, like with what you've already been influenced by in this kind of weird way. And we'll keep going. Okay. Great. And your hopes and fears is the Page of Swords. That is a nice energy. Lovely and light. And look at this. Total togetherness and harmony in the end. What do you know? All right, Aquarius. Let's see. Okay. And on the bottom, beautiful energy here. So overall, yeah, having just come by way of the Moon, if this energy has just passed or is passing for early January, this is really quite beautiful because it really is understanding yourself better, understanding your instincts, who you are. I would say if you're in a completion with the cycle of the Moon, that you had some time to go within and stay on the narrow path, okay, and see some things, see some things that were in the shadows, but that can be a very good thing. In fact, I'd say that's always a good thing. Your overarching energy for the entire read is the Three of Wands. Beautiful energy. This is about setting out into something new, and obviously that is happening. But here it says it's desired too. The interesting thing about this card, though, is that it looks barren, right? So he's looking out, like trying to see clearly, right? Trying to see in this light of early dusk or late sunset. And it looks a little barren. You have to look very closely to see that this is water, and that's the glow of sunrise or sunset there. And there are plenty of ships. There's plenty of opportunities, plenty of provisions. So I wonder if you can relate to that as the overall energy for this 10 days. But I can tell you that what you want is there, and it looks like you've already set out. Okay. Your current energy, though, the juggler. The thing about this particular decision maker is that he can ride the big waves of life. See those boats in the background? Also, you know, some people say it looks like he's dancing. There's definitely a decision to be made, which may or may not be pleasant, but he's making the best out of it. Okay? He is definitely making the best out of the situation. On some level, I think he knows that either way it goes for him, it's going to be okay. So this seems like the position you're in. And again, there was such a lightheartedness about you, I want to say generally. I think generally over like the last many reads. So this is just does seem to be a match to, you know, your energy, that you're committed to keeping it a little lighter. Okay, although your energy coming up is pretty strong, it's pretty intense. It's the Emperor, which is kind of cool. Yeah, the Emperor is a neat energy. Wearing armor underneath his robe, red robe for passion, a lot of wisdom, a lot of strength. He's also a balance of masculine and feminine, believe it or not. So, but definitely about boundaries, about strength and boundaries. So you're going to, it looks like in the near future, be entering a space that resembles the Emperor. And I will tell you a little bit more about that, how to utilize that in the best ways, okay? What's crossing you right now, sorry, I still have the sniffles a tiny bit. What's crossing you right now is the Tower. I wonder if there's something you don't want to see, you don't want to experience, you don't want to face, you don't want to know is true. Right, because why would the Tower be challenging? You know, actually, I read a comment and one person said, "Oh, I love the Tower card," and I was like, "Oh, I'm not sure I would have ever thought that was anybody's, you know, one of their favorite cards." But it is about freedom, about revelation, about liberation. Okay, but it's not always pleasant. You have to, right here, see, you have to decide to make this pleasant. But definitely that's what the Tower is about. In your subconscious, here you are, you're working hard, you're doing well, you're experiencing reciprocation with people. So there is a sense of, you know, solid ground beneath you with your work and with others. So this seems like a really nice thing, a nice and stable space to have in your root. Let's see. What challenges you? But then what's high on your mind, you know, is this Five of Swords. I'd say with the Five of Swords, usually it's indicative of some kind of like a no-win situation here. You know, right? Because this man comes out ahead, but at what cost? Did he have to do it? Sometimes this can speak to spreading yourself too thin, or pushing a result, you know, working really hard to push a result. But again, I think just wondering if that's going to work out for everybody, or how in the world can it work out for everybody. So what's high in your mind and your crown right now is, yeah, it's interesting, right? Because I keep using the word reciprocation, which is a factor in this card, but not always, but I seem to be using it a lot. And I'm thinking that in your January overall read, there was a lot about work and about service, and people really feeling good about who you were and how you were able to give. Here I have to wonder what kind of power games you're finding yourself challenged with, you know, with your near future being the Emperor card. Emperor is a good energy to source yourself from, I would say, whenever he shows up. Regardless of gender, of course. The energy of the card is just really being in your power, in your strength, having solid boundaries, respecting and asserting yourself, you know, order, clarity. He can be about self-control, about being really serious about your goals. But there is definitely, this is so interesting for you. Uh, yeah, I feel like this is going to have to be some kind of out of the box thing going on. And it may call you to act in an out of the box way for you. Not that you can't, you know. I find Aquarius to be very strong and sharp and discerning when they need to. There's a lot of swords here, now that I think about it. Knight of Swords, Page of Swords, the Five of Swords, and the strong energy of the Emperor. But you just came out of a time of peace and introspection and still being in yourself, in your enjoyment, you know, juggling life, work-life balance, decision making, that kind of thing. So now as we're moving into the future side of this, let's take a look. Oddly enough, like how you're asked to source yourself is using the Death card. This is a strength, an asset, a piece of advice right here as to what to use over the next 10 days in your favor. So the Death card, how interesting. I don't think I've ever seen that fall right here before. Death is everything having to do with letting go, with transformation. So if you're going to use this, you know, you have to know that all endings are blessings. Two, I really like that the Death card talks about, you know, approaching every situation with the innocence of a child, right? He doesn't fear the Death Rider. He doesn't fear change. Children don't fear change. Well, I mean, not necessarily if they're young enough. How you want to use this to your advantage still just feels like knowing that change is inevitable, that everything works out, that, you know, it's definitely a move from stagnation, you know, and darkness into something new. The light in the background, of course, the dawn of a new day. I'm having some really long pauses on this one, so I apologize if it's choppy. My software cuts out any long silences. Okay, so this is very interesting. So then, you know, external environmental factors, what's in your face is this Knight of Swords, which is, you know, very action-oriented, very fast. It indicates a need to slow down usually. But it is putting forth to you that perhaps, it seems like maybe something is happening or something is wanting from you in a very, very quick manner. And that could be causing a lot of this trouble. Is it, you know, a decision or some action, some knowing needs to happen right now, yesterday. And where you're going is, you know, in hopes and fears is the Page of Swords, which the Page of Swords has some interesting energy around criticism, feeling criticized, not wanting to be criticized. And I think that that's sort of the human condition for all of us. But really it's because he feels strong. He feels like he is in his knowing. He's very ready to go, but he's still just a page. So as this lands in your hopes and fears category, I wonder for you, if you were just to, you know, lay it down that like, we need to slow down. I don't know enough. Maybe you don't want to admit you don't know enough yet. There's just, with the Page of Swords and hopes and fears, it is, you know, that there is an apprenticeship. This page will become the knight someday. But this is hopes and fears. It seems like too, oh, right, there's an invitation here. So the Page of Swords, he does not like to show his weaknesses. He doesn't like to be vulnerable. And the invitation can be to, you know, let your defenses down. That's a big invitation here with the Page of Swords. But I can see why you might not like to do that. And it may be a crapshoot, right? Where you're like, I don't know if that's going to work. If I get really real with people, is that going to work? If I get really real. vulnerable. Say all that I know and all that I don't know about it, or simply that this can't be rushed. I don't want to rush. And perhaps if you are the person who is in a hurry, if you are the Knight of Swords, then yeah, just to slow down and say this doesn't have to be deciphered today. Because again, the overall January read was very, very positive. And I am finding right now for a lot of people that there are setbacks, either early in the month or mid-month. But that when we come to the outcome, just like yours, okay, Aquarius, just like yours, it doesn't get any better than this. For your purposes, I think, is to know who's important in your life, to value the people in our lives. This is so much about harmony and balance, and again, reciprocation, but now in a really, delicious emotional way. Because this is about people who are really important to us. This is not ordinary love. And incidentally, it can be about who's important to you and opening up to them. It's a big card of communication and about opening up and two-way communication and appreciation. Unity and collaboration. There's really a lot here. It's a wonderful, card here at the end of your reading. And incidentally, this Knight of Swords, if it is you, I mean, it's not all just slow down, tiger, get a hold of yourself. There's a lot of charisma here and a lot of excitement. But I wonder if that's just not going to be the path forward. That if you enter into all this strong right now kind of energy, if you could find yourself end up with a win. But there's just, the invitation I feel like is just to slow down. But it looks like something, here is going to present itself that makes it look like there is just, look, and this is external too, that there's just some kind of insane amount of urgency at hand. And I always say that urgency is a red flag. So if you can slow down, if you can, and maybe you slow down with your boundary. Maybe this comes up soon and you're like, hey, let's everybody pause. That could be how you exercise this strong Emperor boundary. And then you're able to move through into this, lovely, lovely page and Two of Cups, right? Because I think if you finish up here, there's still a lot of room for solutions, for answers, for good outcomes. Yeah, I feel like there's more here. It's been very general, I think, perhaps, but maybe not for you. Just hang on, maybe slow down, have that good boundary, and really trust that, everything full circle, there's still time for solutions. Your willingness to communicate, to, be in your honesty, drop some defenses, have good communication. I mean, how does that not work, right? All right, Aquarius, that's it for now. I will see you end of the month, the 21st to the end of the month, but do try to enjoy your mid-month. I know you will. And if you wouldn't mind sharing, liking, subscribing, I'm really glad that you were here, and I will see you next time.